Today we are a state and a nation deep in mourning. We're picking up the pieces after the worst natural disaster in Australia's history. Devastating fires that have taken family, friends, neighbours and workmates. Destructive fires that have torn at the very heart of communities. Indiscriminate fires that have taken too many and too much. And monstrous fires that swept across our state. Fires that turned day into night. Fires that consumed all before them in an inferno of wind and smoke and flame. These fires have united us all in grief. They have united us all in our response, and they unite us all in the task of rebuilding, because we will rebuild. And in these, what have been the very worst of times, we've also seen the very best of human nature. And so today we recognise and thank our heroic firefighters and our emergency service workers. We thank them for their courage, for their sacrifice, for their skill, for giving so much, and for the work that they continue to do. And today we are united in grief, but we are also united in our determination to recover, to rebuild, and we will rebuild. And we will remember today and into the future all of those who lost their lives and who gave so much on Black Saturday.
Your Royal Highness, my fellow Australians, thank you for gathering this morning, gathering here and in the countless places across our country and world, for filling up the spaces with your warmth, compassion and understanding. Thank you for being present in this moment and for exercising your humanity in the most human way. It is a good thing that we know what to do, that it is as natural to us as life itself, and that we know it is good for us. In the last 2 weeks, we have experienced and witnessed in Victoria devastating ruin, bereavement and pain. For the months and years and decades hence, those struck down will reassemble what has been dismantled of your lives, your property and your communities. The helpers, the firefighters, emergency support workers, aid workers, neighbours and strangers will come to accept that there were some forces too swift and too potent to ever humanly overcome. In time, what was will be restored, no matter how colossal the effort. Today, however, we must pause to give time and due to what has passed, to what has brought us to this point. The unthinkable, we must think. The unimaginable, we must see. The unspeakable, we must speak. The unbearable, we must weep.
Fellow members of the great Australian family, when the histories of nations are written, there are times which sorely test each nation's soul, whether through the carnage of human conflict or through the terrifying forces of nature unleashed. This nation, Australia, has just been put to such a test. And you, the people of Australia, you, the people of Victoria, and most especially, you, the people of these fire-ravaged communities, you have faced the test, and you have not been found wanting. As a people, we weep for the lost, we tend the injured, we console the suffering, and yet our work has barely begun. In meeting this great test, as a people and as a nation, we have drawn deep on our ancient values and given them fresh voice in our modern age. Values of courage, values of compassion, values of steely resilience. These are Australian values, values also of our deepest common humanity. For on Black Saturday, what we saw at work was the worst of nature, yet the best of humanity. So let us resolve today that from this time forth, on every 7th of February, this nation's flags will fly at half-mast. This nation will pause for a moment's silence to honour those lost and to reaffirm afresh this great rebuilding for the future as we rise together in hope from the ashes of despair.